Do you want it bad enough? To the point where you actually do what is required, where you stay up 24 hours a day, drink coffee till your eyes bleed, and you get to $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, and maybe even $1 million a month. My name is Alex Davis, and I've been in business for over 3 years. I'm currently 20 years old, and all the books behind me have gotten me to this point. Today, someone confronted me because I was asking them, why are you at $40,000 a month? And I'm only at 12. And they simply said, because I want it more than you. And I was blown away because nobody in the last 3 years could possibly argue with me. I wanted to be successful in business more than anybody else. And it pissed me off when I heard that comment, but I figured I'd make a video about it because a lot of you guys out there haven't even signed your first client yet, might not even know what business to start, and might be just wasting your own fucking time. So this video is going to be deep, it's going to get emotional, and I hope that you take something away from it because 3 cups of coffee a day isn't going to fucking cut it. Business is one of those things that is insanely difficult, and I don't need to argue with that fact, but I do want to make it clear that if you're getting into business just to hit $10,000 a month, prove your parents wrong, drop out of college, and sit there with a Rolls Royce in the driveway, then you're not doing it for the right reason. 3 years ago, I started reading every single book that you see behind me, and it took me to a place that I didn't even imagine. I actually got my dad's bike from when he was in high school, and I started biking 6 miles a day just to toughen my mind because I read a book by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me. So I wanted to create enough separation between me and the average Joe so that I was so crystal clear on the fact that I had done the work, that I was serious enough, and that I was doing what it took, and that I wanted it bad enough. I got so intense to the point where I was literally biking in negative 10-degree weather, 30 miles with snow all over my face. My hair was frozen. I was wearing winter goggles. I was listening to Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Lewis Howes, Patrick Bet-David, Grant Cardone for hours on the road, completely by myself in the middle of the country with no houses in sight. And it even got to the point where I literally biked 100 miles in one day, listening to Ryan Holiday, which took me 6.5 hours. And I got to the point where I was dehydrated. My skin was blistering from the heat. Past that point, I actually moved states several times, from New York to Georgia to Florida. And while I was in Georgia, I became homeless. I was sleeping out of my car. I started hopping on sales calls, closing deals, and feeling like a baller. Because to me, I had created enough separation by this point, away from all the average people in my life, to prove to myself that I, yes, was an entrepreneur. And yes, I actually was doing what I said I was going to do. And yes, I wanted it bad enough. I dropped out of college 3 times for business. I left my girlfriend for business. I left multiple girls for business. I left all of my friends because they didn't have the same mindset as me. And I told them straight up that you guys aren't the association that I want to be around. I published 3 books to Amazon, failed 8 different companies, losing money on every single deal just to roll into the next one with more energy. Hearing Logan say that I wasn't serious enough killed me. But I guess I have to ask you guys, are you serious enough about business? I'll tell you guys one thing that Logan made me realize. If Alex Davis didn't want it bad enough, then every single person listening to this video right now that hasn't gotten their first client, that is doing this just because it's a trend, just because they found something to do on the internet, saw it on TikTok, you guys are crushed. By the way, Logan is an 18-year-old kid doing $40,000 a month. If we were to actually make this practical and tactical for you guys, this is what it looks like. It has to start with a desire, because a desire will push you into motion. Motivation comes from deprivation, and deprivation usually is caused because you are lacking things. Now, human beings can't lack money and feel deprived of money because money is something that we fabricated on our own. We created money, but we do have the emotional feeling of ego that is built inside of us. You can have deprivation when it comes to ego. So you will be motivated to do something. Now, the question is, what is that something that you're doing? Because if you've never done anything in business, you have to figure out what to do, what landing page to build, what software to use, you have what lead nurture sequence to build, and what content creation strategy to utilize, and what authors to read, and what content gurus to listen to. You have to figure that part out. You get desired to move, and then you start moving in business, and you start reading 150 books. You start biking for no reason. You start drinking coffee because you think it's cool, and next thing you know, you're 3 years into business, your hairline's receding, and you've got a guy that's 18 years old saying that you're not serious enough about it. Most of you guys aren't built out to be business owners, and you'll see me go parabolic and hockey stick growth on this because it pisses me off that an 18-year-old kid says that I'm not serious enough, that I don't want it bad enough. I love you guys to death, And if you've never seen my face, my name's Alex Davis. It was an absolute pleasure to spend the last few minutes with you. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys again. Don't worry. I'm always here.